wastes no time trying to back up the opponent, Orozco. Oh, a couple of vicious shots.
He's landing some good hooks there. He's going to start landing that right hand here pretty soon.
Orozco got loose with a right hand for a moment.
A good right hand.
Boy, they're really going at it. Orozco doesn't seem intimidated at all by this world champion.
Not at all.
Reyes fighting for the Marines. He's in the red.
A good right hand by Reyes.
Orozco in the gold, fighting for the Army.
They're tangled up there. Steve Referee's going to break them.
Boy, the crowd loving this one. These two just came out and started firing away. They both have pretty good defense, too. Each has avoided some good shots.
Now, there's a good right hand with a left hand behind it.
Boy, Reyes just hit Orozco with a breadbasket shot that Orozco still hadn't recovered from.
You know, in actuality, Reyes' style is better suited for the pros. He is a successful amateur because of his aggressiveness. And you're going to see a lot more of it as he starts warming up. As you notice on him, Steve, he really doesn't look very warmed up. There's no sweat on his body. He just landed a good shot there, Steve.
And Orozco in the ropes for a moment. Orozco still fighting back.
Another good right hand from Reyes.
Boy, that wobbled Orozco a little bit. Lance Corporal Sergio Reyes of the Marines. Two trading punches here in the center of the ring.
Orozco's doing some pretty good work on the inside, Steve, but Reyes just landed a good left hook there.
Seems like just when Orozco tries to take the offensive, Reyes has an answer for him.
But Steve, you know, a lot of the amateur matches, when a fight is real close or a round is real close, the judges will base their decision on who won that round by the effective aggressor. And right now, you couldn't say either one of them was an effective aggressor because they're both in there banging away solidly.
Reyes connecting with a few more telling punches, but Orozco getting in a lot of punches and doing some damage as well. This has been a terrific first round.
Another good right hand by Reyes. Another good left hand by Orozco. This is a good fight, Steve.
That right by Reyes a moment ago. If Orozco...
Another good right hand. I thought the referee was going to call. The referee did call an 8 count, Steve. Now this is done for the protection of the fighter. The other fighter has to go to a neutral corner. We'll give him an 8 count, see if he's fit to continue, then let him continue.
And the official says yes.
Again, that only counts for just like a jab or just like the right hand. Now, Steve, a combination of knockdowns or 8 counts, standing 8 counts, 3 in 1 round will stop the fight. And there's the end of the first round.
And indeed, it was a dandy as you look in the corner of Lance Corporal Sergio Reyes from the U.S. Marines, 21-year-old. 5 feet 3 inches tall. And there's the opponent, battered a little bit, Antonio Orozco, 22 years of age. He's 5'7", married with 2 children. And Orozco, by the way, folks, hails from Muleshoe, Texas. So he is fighting in his home state, as is Reyes.
You know, Steve, that was a fairly closely contested round. I would have to give the slight edge to Reyes at this point. He seemed to be landing the harder shots. And one thing that he's doing real well is he's working very well to the body. And that may eventually wear down Orozco and make him easier to hit to the head as the fight wears on.
If you were Orozco's trainer, what would you be telling him right now?
I'd have him box because Sergio really is not using his jab and he's waiting to work himself in. I'd tell him to box from the outside and stick and move.
And we're ready for round 2 of the Bantamweight Division championship fight for the Armed Forces boxing title in the 119-pound class.
That was a good hook landed right there. Sergio didn't even bother to jab. Another right hand there. Now Russell came back with a nice left hand.
Reyes is finding the mark continually. Many of his punches to Orozco's head have been high, but they've still been effective.
Orozco's just waiting just a little bit, Steve. He's waiting, and that's a big mistake. He's just waiting a little bit. He's letting Sergio Reyes get off first.
What happened there?
Now, there was a slap there, and they called a caution on Reyes. You have to hit with the white part of the glove, Steve. You can't slap with the open part of the glove.
Reyes is just really performing so well. He looks sharp. As Martin said a moment ago, he started the first round looking a little cold, had not broken a sweat. But, boy, he's put it in 5th gear now.
I want you to take a look at something, Steve. Look at Reyes' eyes. He's got some amazing intensity in those eyes. He is focused and concentrating on the job at hand. Right there, good right hand.
Doesn't display a great deal of body movement, just comes right
at it. Good left hand by Orozco. Excuse me, Steve. himself off balance.
Would you call that a miss, Martin?
I would call that a miss, Steve.
Minute 40 left to go in round 2.
Now, Reyes' head went down a little too low, and the referee cautioned him for his head coming down too low.
Cannot drop his head below the opponent's belt line.
It's a nice little right hand. Now, you notice that Reyes really doesn't use that many jabs. He gets in there, and he doesn't quite load up. He throws good bombs, and he's landing some good punches there.
I'll say this for Orozco, he can absorb punishment.
Did you see that good body shot, Steve? Another good right hand by Reyes. Look at that intensity, Steve.
Oh, and just the way he stalks, Martin, he just stalks the opponent, waits for his opening, and then unleashes.
Good hook. Orozco needs to get off first. Orozco's waiting too much.
So Reyes tagged him with about 3 straight left hooks.
Orozco's doing some good work in there. Another good left hand by Orozco. And Reyes comes right back to the body.
What about Orozco's defense here?
Right now, he's letting Sergio get off first, and Sergio's finding the chinks in his armor. His hands are up nice and high, but he's not moving his head enough. Right there, he just got hit with 2 real good shots and another right hand. He's going to get an 8 count here pretty quick if he takes too many more of those. The referee's looking at him very carefully.
Orozco still wanting to fight, still game. Took a couple of hard right hands from Reyes. He shook his head like didn't affect me, but
there's another
did. There's another one just like it. We are in round 2. Again, in round 1, a standing 8 count. Reyes connecting with a good combination on Orozco. Orozco taking the standing 8. Boy, his head snapped back there as Reyes hits him again.
Orozco just came back with a nice left hand and drove Reyes back. That's something you very rarely will see, and he just did it again.
Well, the Army crowd getting a little excited there as round 2 ends. Tell you what, Antonio Orozco has earned the respect of Sergio Reyes, and in fact, this entire crowd here at Kelly Air Force Base. Let's listen in to the Reyes corner.
Going one. Double them up a little bit, okay? Double them up. Give some more, sir. You want to double them up, all right? Okay. Now look at him real good. Keep them hands up. When we punch, okay, just listen to me. When we punch, we want to get out of there a little bit, okay? Don't stare in there and catch him.
Come out with straight.
Excuse me?
Come out with straight punches?
Right. Straight punches, right. Straight punches. All right? All right, let's stand up.
That was Roosevelt Sanders we heard from the majority of time. Martin, in layman's terms, what's he telling Reyes?
When he's telling him to double up, he's telling him to get 2 lefts up there first before he lands the right hand. And what that'll do is that'll get him looking for the left hand so he can drop the right hand on it, which is real good sound advice. He's going to have to out-hustle him, too, this round, because even though I feel he's ahead on the card, you can't leave it up to the officials. You have to go in there and do the best you can for each and every round. Now, there's that right hand landing again.
And Reyes doubling up right there, as his trainers told him to do.
Orozco just landed a nice uppercut. Reyes came right back with a good, solid left hand and a good right hand behind that.
Well, these guys are just really going at it. Trading punches is a good left by Reyes again. Orozco backs up for a moment, but then tries to come forward again. Boy, Orozco can just flat take shots, folks. Doing the Army proud with the way he's stood in here tonight with this outstanding boxer with over 300 amateur fights.
Well, I'm really impressed, Steve, right now with the amount of focus that Reyes is showing. He is just intent on one thing and one thing only. That's winning this fight. And he's doing what he has to do in there right now.
Again, we are in the 3rd round. Orozco took a standing 8 in round 1.
I'll tell you what, though, Orozco is fighting back. He is game. He's definitely game.
And Reyes, he's savvy enough. He's not going to do anything stupid. He's not going to get wild and try for a knockout for knockout's sake, or for a referee stops contest for referee stops contest's sake. He wants to win this any way he can, whether it's on point.
A beautiful 4-punch combination, Steve. Reyes just landed a beautiful 4-punch combination. A nice uppercut there. But look at Orozco. He's still in there. He's still punching. He's trying. He's got a lot of pride, a lot of gameness in that kid.
Both of these fighters in outstanding shape, too. They've been going at it like this from the opening bell.
I believe he's going to count. Yes, he's giving another 8 count. He was just taking too many right hands, Steve. That's for his own safety, and although the fans may not like it, the referee is the man that he's in the ring. He doesn't want these kids to get hurt.
Second standing 8 count taken in this fight by Orozco. Less than a minute left in this outstanding bantamweight division fight.
Another good right hand. Reyes has found a home for that right hand, Steve.
Reyes jumping after him again, going right into him. And Orozco backing up but keeping those arms up.
Another good right hand there, and Orozco's still fighting back, Steve.
Orozco had a good left, too, for a moment to back Reyes up. Well, you can hear the grunts in the ring as every time Reyes throws a punch, he puts every ounce of strength he has behind it.
The referee just gave a little caution to Orozco for holding, and that's the end of the fight, Steve.
Well, Martin, I would presume that Orozco, knowing he was up against such an outstanding champion, must feel pretty good about his performance here tonight. As the saying goes, he took a licking but kept on ticking.
Matter of fact, he lasted the distance, and there in the second round, he took a series of punches. The referee didn't call an 8 count, which I thought he may have done it. He took some real good punches. He did keep coming. He was still doing some effective punching, but Reyes was just a little too much for him, Steve. Just a little too much for him.
Reyes being somewhat the shorter fighter, I was, in my mind, thinking we might see Reyes do a little more uppercutting, getting in close, but Reyes just kind of unloads from both sides. It looks to me like he has the potential to hurt you with either hand.
It looked like it, Steve. Also, he's usually aggressive, and he was extremely so today. But the main thing he was doing, the thing that was, I think, getting him off to beating Orozco to the punches, that Orozco just happened to be waiting, and just Reyes took advantage of it and got off first.
I think part of that may have been the fact that in the first round, he really was hurt in the first round and maybe just never completely shook loose of the cobwebs.
That could have been it. Also, I believe it also took Reyes a little bit of time to warm up, too. And he did come in pretty cold. There wasn't any sweat on his body, but he sure got warmed up by the end of that round.
All right, let's throw it up to the announcer for the winner.
Red corner.
No surprise there, Steve.
And the U.S. Marines are on the board, as it were, with that young man, Sergio Reyes. A native of Fort Worth, Texas, boxing out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, wants one day to become a world professional champion. And the Marines are backing him all the way. But I will say this, the Army's Antonio Orozco has nothing to be ashamed of. Fought a very good fight.
Steve, he will be back. That kid shows a lot of potential. I think a little bit more training. He doesn't have quite the experience that Sergio Reyes had, but yeah, he will be back.
So we have a winner in the flyweight division, Sergeant Byron Moore from the Army, and in the bantamweight division, Lance Corporal Sergio Reyes of the U.S.